This is a nice, gentle, easy practice where we're focusing just on the lateral lines of our body. So opening up into the IT band, opening up into the inner hips and into the side of our body, just loosening that up. Really important though that you just listen to your body. It changes from day to day, depending on our activities, our hydration, stress. So don't force it. Come up to the point of discomfort, breathe, engage your Ujjayi breath, which if you don't know how to do, you constrict the muscles in the back of your throat, your glottis muscles. So you just really engage them as you breathe in and out. It should sound like an oceanic wave inside your head. Engage your Ujjayi breath when you come to that point of discomfort, and you will relax and open into it, not force through it. Just listen to your body, focus on sensation and where you're activating. Start by coming to a mountain pose. Ground down through your big toe, little toe, lift up from your pelvic floor, hands are just by your side, your chin is tucked, you're lifting up through the crown of your head. Close your eyes and just tune in with your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Just tune in with where you are today. Maybe set a small intention. It's a nice idea just for what you want to get from that, whether it's just to open up, to feel good, to reconnect, whatever makes sense for you. On your next inhale, raise your arms above your head, squeeze your glutes. Lift up from that pelvic floor, really reach up towards the ceiling. And then wrap your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, palms together, pull down from the hands, raise your chest to the ceiling, head back. Breathe into the front of your throat, into the front of your chest. And then on an exhale, roll forward. Pedal out your legs. Take a little second. This is a short practice today, so we will jump straight into it. So maybe sometimes you want to do a little bit of extra warming up before you go into this next stage. Okay, I want you to bend your left leg, keep your right leg straight, place your left hand on the outside of your left knee, and you're going to bring your right arm round towards the left side of the mat, and this will really help you feel the opening in the lower back on your right side. I'm placing my left hand on the outside of my left knee here because I don't want my knees to pivot with me, because that means the hips are going to swing round. I want to keep my hips facing straight. Swap legs, bend your right leg, straighten your left, swing round to the right. Breathing into your left side of your lower back. Excellent, back to center. Cross your right leg behind your left leg, so we want both of these feet to be in line with each other, but on the other side. A good place right now would be to take my block, which I've forgotten. To take your block, place your right hand or left hand on the block and start to walk your feet wider apart. Now what I am right now is on the knife edge on my inside of my foot, so it's a bit of a strange position, and where we're going to be focusing on is opening up on the IT band here on my left side. So plant your right hand onto the block here, or if you're very open already, you can plant your hand on the ground. Take your left hand, place in your lower back, bring your elbow back, gaze up towards the ceiling, and if you feel comfortable, extend that left arm all the way up to the ceiling. Float your hand down, walk your feet back close together, and then cross them over the other side. Hand on the block, start to walk your feet wider, extend that front leg, gaze up towards the ceiling, rotating to your right. Remembering to engage your Ujjayi breath, so concentrating on your breath there, breathing in, and control, exhale out. Always coming back to that, breathing in, and controlled exhale out. Float your hands down. Always feel free to pause the video and take longer there. That felt really good for you. Work yourself out into a plank position. Take a couple of seconds to engage your core, embrace, and step your left foot up to the outside of your mat. Take a second to sort of lizard lunge. Take some small rotations of the hip here. And then step your left foot back and step your right foot forward to the front of the mat. Again, you can take a little bit longer if you want here. I'm just taking some small circles with the hip. Just keeping my left glute squeezed. Making sure I'm still engaging my breath the whole time, and I'm grounding down through the index and thumb, that pad between them and my hands. I've got a good grounding everywhere. Then I step my right foot back and lift my hips up and back for a down dog. Now this is my first down dog of the day, and it might be yours, so don't worry if you're quite tight or restricted. Don't worry about having your legs straight. Just come where you are. Focus on pressing your chest towards your thighs, lifting your hips up into the air, having your chin tucked and your gaze towards your navel. These are all really important things. We've got a slight external rotation of the elbows and a slight internal rotation of the knees. Breathe in. Control breath out. Breathe in. Control breath out. Excellent. Lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your left glute. You can keep your right leg bent here. It's more important that our lifted leg is straight. Then on an exhale, come through and step that left foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee down to the floor. Raise your hands up towards the ceiling for a low lunge. We're now focusing on opening up through the psoas muscle on our right side here. Float your hands down, pull that left hip back. Now you might need to adjust a little bit here. I sometimes do, especially if you've got longer legs. Pull your left hip back, push your right hip forward, fold forward over that front leg. Tuck your chin into your chest, and you should be able to get a lovely stretch, quite an intense stretch, especially first thing in the morning. From the back of your leg all the way up to the back of your head. One last deep breath in. Excellent. Now we're going to walk forward here, plant our hands. Now I'm going to change position just so you can appreciate what I'm doing. Plant our hands, we lift our back leg up, and we walk our left leg as far over as we can to the other side of your mat. So we can just stay here, or you can drop your hip down to the floor, and this is an amazing stretch for the IT band, the QL. Really be careful here though, don't dump into it, listen to your body. Deep breath in, slow exhale out. It's definitely one of my favourite stretches for getting into the IT band. And always feel free to pause the video here if you want. Okay, lifting yourself back up, step your left leg back, come back into that plank position. Lift your hips up and back, down dog. Bring your right leg up to the sky, left leg bent, squeezing your right glute, pressing your chest towards your left thigh. Bring your right knee forward, plant your right foot in between your hands, drop your left knee down. Keep this left glute squeezed, low lunge. Really focus on getting to the psoas muscle on our left side now. Float the hands down, pull the right hip back, fold forward over your right foot, your right leg. Half splits is one of my favourite positions. I really love getting into the hamstring here, and keep your toes flexed and pointing towards you. Maybe a slight micro bend in your right knee just so you don't run the risk of hyperextending it. Yeah, this one always feels really good but really necessary for me. And again, there's a block there. Always advise that you use that if you need it, because it's not about what the position looked like, it's all about just making sure that you're getting what you want from the position. And so blocks are really useful for that. Plant your right foot down, plant your right hand, and then lift your right foot up and step it all the way through. Our cross leg position here, so an adapted starfish. Now we drop our hips down to the floor as we come into our IT band stretch. So it's the same as I was doing before when I was facing you, just different angle now. This side is tighter. You'll notice that each side is different, and that's totally normal. It's just something we accept about our body. Each side of your body lives different lives. Keep breathing. Come up to that point of discomfort and just relax. Excellent. Lift your hips up, step your right leg back, come back into our down dog position. Walk it out. Notice there's a bit of a difference now. Walk your feet towards the centre of the mat. Turn sideways, walk your feet nice and wide, and they're a great place to use a block. Forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Letting your head, the crown of your head, drop down towards the floor. Maybe you plant your hands on a block, or rest your head on a block. Whatever's good for you right now. Again, this is a stretch which I really feel necessary. It's one of my more restricted ones, but it's why I feel necessary. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. Start to heel toe your feet back in towards the center. Drop your elbows in between your knees, drop your bum right down towards the ground. Screw your feet into the ground so it's like you're trying to create lateral tension and pull the mat apart. Your shoulder blades are dropped down and away, your chest is lifted, your glutes are squeezed, front of your shins are engaged, chin tucked, lift up from the crown of the head. Tune in with your breath. Just do your best with this position. You might not be able to get as low, but that's fine. Everyone just spend a bit of time every day in a low squat. Excellent. Plant your hands on the ground. Extend your legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake. Maybe sit up in the block as you come into a cross-legged position. I advise you to maybe stay here in a few minutes of meditation. If you have time for that today, but I understand we all live busy lives. With that, raise your hands above your head in prayer and bring them to your heart in Anjali Mudra. I hope you have a lovely day. I wish you love and light. Namaste.